spring with autumn here. It is, it's in the wee hours, of course, on the East Coast. And I'm sure it's getting later. It's still pretty late on the West Coast as well. But I don't know. I was just, I haven't been on in a while, but I was just having a look at this underlying groundswell of this migrant alien concoction that's going on between New York. I keep seeing the replay. It just seems like deja vu when it comes to these Chicago City Council meetings because the person that's allegedly the face of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson, he's not moving an inch. He's got this pseudo stoic poise that he is standing in the middle. And to me it's like their place of worship. It's like that's, to me politics is their religion, okay? And he stands before those people. They stand before these people literally elevated on a platform as if they're risers. Like it's just kind of so twisted. This whole they're disingenuous with the word democracy. Anytime I hear somebody use that word, and this is because even writers and authors themselves have talked about the language, how the English language can be an enemy in itself, communication. And we've talked about it on other tier. We've talked about other things about people writing on ideas of tyranny and how disingenuous it is to use that word. But I want to say more specifically, I'm telling you, it just seems like there's a common. This is all. It just seems so scripted to keep having these platformed uh, tier rising uh, meetings that are absolutely not. If this is the strategy for the black people in Chicago have, it's not effective. It's not effective. You're just literally complaining. The American people are literally complaining because nothing is changing. You keep pointing the finger over here, you point the finger over there. And I really don't even know. I mean, maybe people think they're getting something off of their chest, but nothing is changing. Nothing is going to change. It's going to stay the same. Especially in places like Chicago, you've got the home of Bill Ayers, you've got rules for radicals, you've got a culture of isms. You've got the coward and pivot strategy, a global implementation of the coward and pivot strategy that's happening all the way up to the New York City Council meetings with these migrants, illegal aliens complaining. I mean, they are going to overthrow this system. And they've taught them the same thing. They've all been indoctrinated on what to say. And to me, I've seen the movie. I've been to the movie. I already know what the score is. I've been to the movie. I know what the score is. There's nothing new. Ecclesiastes says there's nothing new under the sun. No, and there's nothing new on the script. There's nothing new on this script. You've got people that have come to this country that miraculously they've already been indoctrinated on what to say on the city council floors. They've got all the buzzwords, xenophobic, racism, ism. And then people have the nerve to try to parallel this border system with Ellis Island. If you just look at these commercials, how these commercials have been inundated with propaganda. Oh yeah, I heard your parents came through Ellis Island too. We're a nation of immigrants. Wait, even in those times, allegedly those people had to pass inspection. Even in those times, those people, Ellis Island turned people away. Everybody did not even make it through Ellis Island. And some of them were given a different type of condition. There were conditions even at Ellis Island. So when these people get on here and, oh, we're a nation of immigrants, and see, to me, they muddy the ones as soon as they think they sprinkled that in. To me, it pretty much should send up a bunch of antennas. If your people really came in that way, you knew that there were standards to it. It wasn't just a free for all, no inspection. It wasn't that way. So I just want to let you guys know that it's just, you cannot ignore that this is scripted. Everything is so scripted. You don't even know what you're looking at. These people get up here and do these. It's like we've got a movement of actors coming here now. They're actors. They're paid from these NGOs, the UN, all of these global associations have paid these people, and all these infiltrators of the US with the NWO they're paid. They are paid to come here. It's scripted. It's completely scripted. You've got diversions. Of course, they've got their all occasion devil, uh, which to me, of course, they've got their all occasion devil or whatever with TRUMP. They've got that with the left right paradigm people tuned in, entertaining them. And then on the other hand, you got Baghdad Bob, Karine Jean Pierre. Oh, there's no problem here. Everything's great. See, don't you see the cost of this is down and the cost of that? And she gets up there and quotes the same lies every single week. That's another deja vu experience paid for by the US taxpayers. I just, it's like the tax season is a complete joke. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's just like I said, to me, it's all gonna go, it's all to go to the tank. In order for them to, they've got to tank the economy. They can break us if they can take the economy, and that's what they're doing. They're chopping it down, little by little, piece by piece. They're just totally chopping it down, little by little, piece by piece. And I mean, I'm watching the news. I'm watching the crocodile tears of the, now they're calling them black. You see, here's the color speak. Oh, the black migrants in New York City are complaining. Chicago is up for another debating another $70 million. I Meanwhile, across the world, you've got flooding going. I'm telling you, it's. I'm so thankful that I'm able to see, that I'm able to have a different discernment and a different perspective on things, because it's all going to lead to the fall. Like it's falling, it's crumbling, it's done. There's no one armed bandit lever that's going to pull quote America, what's left of it, out of any of this. There just isn't. There isn't. I mean, you could have all the town hall meetings, and you could have all of your, to me, even that's looking like a ritual to me. I mean, they give you 3 minutes, and they've got all these people elevated on these risers above you. I mean, that's it's like a temple. I mean, and Nancy Pelosi has said it. She said that the Capitol was their temple. I mean, politics, to me is just in this country, we don't have statesmen, we have filth. We have we have politicians. We don't have statesmen, stateswomen. We don't. And I swear these some of these left right idiots, they love politics more than they do any concept of freedom. They do. They don't know the difference. They're not to me, we're all of us are in bondage. Because if things can be manipulated, what's going to happen? I mean, does anybody really think? I don't care what you think, what side of the you team red, you team blue. I told you guys that this country is it's purple. You hear them talking about bipartisanship and da 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 da. They're even talking about it on a global level. Even Pete Buttigieg got up there several weeks ago and talked about they need to stand together, red, blue, and purple. The purple is where you are. The joke's on us, folks. There is no red and blue. Now they're quoted, you've seen purple. Look at your freaking commercials. These pharmaceutical companies dripping with purple. Wayfair dripping in purple. The purple rain is here. It's not going anywhere. You've got people, like I said, all these these city council meetings in these major cities completely complaining. Americans are just literally complaining. It's not going to change anything. The fix is in, as they say. It's set. We are going down by the head. Shout out to Mr. Pearson says we're just moving the chairs around they're just moving the chairs around on the deck of the Titanic. I don't care how many levers you pull. The damage is already done. The fix is already in. Anarchy Television. I know it's late. I was just I've seen so many. I'm going to share. I'm actually going to do a live stream. Uh, there are so many. There's so much. Just so much. There's so much scripted news. So many. These to me. These city hall meetings, these council meetings in Chicago, New York, with the quote New York's quote black immigrants up there complaining about what they don't have, and oh, we're this Muslims and we couldn't even during this time season Ramadan we couldn't eat and then they start speaking they start speaking in French and say it must be said. Oh, they're calling America xenophobic and racist. Oh my god. I'm telling you, it's not this is I can tell you this is not sustainable, but I'm telling you we're looking at a global. I'm sorry, the Cloward pivot strategy allegedly that came out of the Midwest and the Columbias, all this stuff, it was not just a plan to overthrow the US with basically a welfare system. There's been a plan to overthrow the entire world. In order to give people, in order for that to happen, they have to crash the system. They have to crash it. They have to crash it on a global. Does America think they can really import less than the third world and sustain any type of, they're diluting any type of culture here? I'm sorry, but cultures clash. And when you look at these people at these alleged scripted council meetings, do they look like they share any values? No. Gimme. That's just a part of that's just a part of, that's what they've been taught. They're not in their homeland doing that. But I think there's a great piece out there that I need to, it's the day the dollar died. You can see just how long the US has been giving money to these other nations. And now they're letting you see. They're going to give it to you right here. They're going to demand. Our own alleged government is demanding that you pay into a system to keep everybody and all of these conflicts that are coming, that are in brew, it's like they're in hock to every single nation in the world. This is not, hey, this is not going to be a melting pot. This is fondue. This is fondue. And when you get the fondue, once you get everything that's all in one consistency, all you can control it, right? You can't have a melting pot. No, you need a fondue, or you need you need probably some civil unrest before you get that consistency right. I'm telling you guys, I think the summer is going to be another situation. This DJT situation, I think a lot of that stuff is staged. That Chick-fil-A sighting that he did, and all the, sometimes, it can be intense to deal with, to watch and see people decodes. But the people that have done the decodes, I think they're onto something. But I will say that there's something brewing out here. As they say, some bubble is going to burst soon, and it's going to be before this before. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, what this trial and all this, I mean, this is literally the world's a stage. Literally, it is. Do I believe that, quote, Black Americans are done voting for their gods and their civil rights and their boule diversion leaders? No, no. But that's why they will be. That's what will keep, quote, Black Americans, quote, African Americans as a permanent underclass. That's the exact thing that's going to keep them there. That's it. Let's see, Anarchy Television, morning to you. I know it's late. But like I said, I just couldn't. I mean, I'm gonna come in with a live stream so that you guys can see some of this, in studio stream, so that you guys can see some of this footage in person. I think Forbes has been covering a lot of these city council meetings out of Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson. I mean, what a pompous, what a pompous powder puff. Because he stands up there like he's absolutely invincible. He's up there on the highest riser. I'm telling you, I can't. It's just, it's hard to stomach what's on. It's all theater, but to me, there's also some spirituality, some dark stuff going on here. Like, I cannot stand. Literally, it's just hard to. Then you had this guy, and I don't want to spill the beans. You got all these people that just want to go in and this guy. There were some unbelievable testimonies. There were some shenanigans at this meeting, and I'm going to show that. I stumbled onto it now, but Forbes just aired it like 4 hours ago on YouTube. So I think what maybe I need to start doing the sunrise cast again. I need to start doing a sunrise cast again, and do these Monday through Friday for the next 4 or 5 weeks. And then for the summer, I'm going to try to get things kicked off on a regular schedule. But yes, I'm telling you, that meeting, hey, it's definitely entertaining. It's definitely entertaining. It's probably getting Forbes more views. You know, but to me, what are they actually accomplishing? They're just complaining. All the protest and the bickering and this and that. I mean, who they could care less. Brandon Johnson, the city of Chicago, they're done using you. They're done with you. This is a completely narcissistic system. They're done with you. You've been nothing for years. You've been nothing to them for years. They put you're on the back burner. until these people's purpose, until they serve their purpose, until they come back to re-idolize black people. They idealize, not idolize, re-idealize black people every 4 years. Well, you know what? That is done. You are old supply. You're old supply. And you're not, they would much, but it's one thing about the whole narcissism culture, the whole symptoms and the stage and the phases of, it seems like, narcissism. Every now and then they say, some people believe that narcissists prefer to be able to, they don't really get rid of anyone. They just kind of put you on a shelf until they come back to you. And and they also quote, it is said that they don't believe, they much rather have old supply than new supply, because guess what's on the new supply? You got to come up with new tactics. You got to constantly spend. They've got to constantly spend and work and invest in this illegal staging of immigrants, illegals. They would I'm telling you, they're not done with black people. You're just on the shelf for right now. But eventually everyone will be in the same, in that harem garage. We are all people in a harem garage right now. We're all being used. There's just different levels of, there's just some people are facing on the shelf and some people are on the back. Some people that old supply. So I'm just saying, it just seems like there was a global cloud pivot strategy. You can call it whatever you want. But to me, these plans were have been around were in place hundreds of years ago. And I'm telling you, these meetings, they're definitely entertaining, but I'm telling you, it's just more theater. A city council meeting is no different than what you see with the senator out of Louisiana with the twangy twang. I can't even think of his name right now. Can't think of his name right now. But it's no different than that. It's no different than the Chuck Schumers and the Johnson speaker. It's no different. It's the same theater. Oh, they give it to you on a little bit of a local level. But to me, they think they're throwing you a bone. They think they're throwing you a bone. Okay, I want to say, what is the guy out of New Orleans? He gets up there every day, the Jim Jordans, and I cannot stand the Marsha, what's her name, from Tennessee, the MTGs. Do you guys really want to continue to watch these people and their script? What is that? What is that? Nothing is happening. Nothing. What has changed? We can say, yep, definitely things have economically gotten worse. You know that. But you're pulling up to the gas pump. You know that. You know that what? See, this is the thing that KJP gets up and does every week. She for almost 4 years, she talked about, this president is so historic. Ha ha ha. He put out historic legislation. Ha ha ha. And the first thing he did was he put something on the floor, and see, she touts the color purple every day too. The color purple is what is it. People need to wake up and see. The color purple is reigning right now. She tells bipartisanship all the time. Oh, they need to put this national supplemental. It ain't. I'm sorry. That is no more a national supplemental. My behind. Okay. There's nothing national supplemental about it. It's international supplemental. It's the global agenda. Funding both sides of a conflict and calling it a national supplemental. Oh, Speaker Johnson needs to put that out on the floor because he knows he needs to put that out there. It'll receive bipartisanship, and they know that's the most effective way. That's the best way to do it because I tell you, Anybody this system is just not. You can admire the concept of this and that, but it has not worked. This century will not look good. It will not age. It has not aged well. It will not age well. It is an illusion. It is an illusion. Rome knew it. The chaos, the corruption, the deaths, the everything, the destabilization of nations, the destabilization of our own nation. It is not aging well. But I'm telling you, I do believe, and this is not me, I'm not soothsayer or any of this BS. Just saying, I think the summer is going to, I just think that they're looking for something. I haven't seen that movie, these last couple of movies. I haven't seen this Civil War movie. I haven't seen that, which is most people are touting that as predictive programming. I did not see the Leave the World Behind with their advisor, BO, with BO on it. I haven't seen those. I've heard about them. I've seen specific things, some of the symbolism that has been brought out. But I do believe that the summer is going to be, they're going to do whatever they need to do. What is it? We're in April right now. So we're still talking a whole nother 7 months of scripted news, scripted chaos, scripted city hall meetings, scripted city council meetings, scripted, with just about every single, with over almost 100 and something countries represented, I'm sorry, with hundreds of countries being represented in these city hall meetings, town hall meetings, or city council meetings. I'm telling you, pretty soon, when these people come from the border, and pretty soon they're going to take, if the American people are not taking it where they need to take it. But I'm telling you, in a few minutes, these people are going to be in our faces. If they can't get what they want if they can't get their agenda, if they can't get their scripted agenda accomplished, who knows? Is it coming to your doorstep? When is it coming? I'm telling you, this situation is not limited to these major cities. It's not. That's another fallacy. That's almost like continue the narrative about the Brown and all of this stuff. We all know that. What was it? I remember. Was it Cruz? Was it Ted Cruz allegedly that went down there? What, like 5 or 6 years ago, back in 18 or 19, back in 18, when that migration compact was due. He talked about the 50 countries plus representation being at that freaking border. Okay, now these people are in the corridors. They're coming closer and closer, closer and closer to your doorstep. And I don't know. And then meanwhile, you got people protesting and blocking off streets. It is complete chaos. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I believe 24 could be more, even more chaotic and deceptive than the 19 and 20. I always say shout out to the class of Charles Victor 19, or the COVID-19. I say I'm telling you, it's nonstop. It's nonstop. So I want to do that as in studio stream. But I'm just telling you, like this, it's all of these things just look so scripted. So how do you have people that come here that don't speak the language, but they're so this just proves the point that they're indoctrinated. They have a script. it's a script. And they knew it before they came here. They get up there and cry in front of the city council. You know, yeah. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for tuning in on what would be I used to call Moonlight Streams, but I plan on coming to you from a studio stream and letting you see some of this some of the scripted testimonies. You know, and there was one content creator. He goes by the name of Ford Boss. So shout out to Ford Boss for coming out. You know, he went there and he's got a YouTube channel. He's talked about how some of the, he's potentially being slandered and being blackmailed by people in the city of Chicago. It's kind of amazing what's going on. They kind of let you know where you rank in the scheme of things. They're letting you know, as scripted as it is, you are under control, completely under the control when it comes to these platforms. When it comes to who actually gets to speak, yeah, I'm going to tell you, he probably reached more people. This content creator for Boss, he probably reached more people in that 3 minutes that YouTube's AI will ever allow him to reach. Because that's the level of control. And these flying monkeys that are in here, these bug zappos, yeah, I know you're out there. But yes, I'm sure maybe there is some, you go on, you go to a city council meeting, they give you a little 3 minutes, and he basically said you can try to come after me if you want. He said it. He was very he wasn't he did not mince his words. Good for him. But I'm saying, and I do think the guy is, he's consistent with what he says on his own channel and his content. But you didn't you didn't hear a lot of it. To me, I wish that people would just let this whole color thing. It's not the thing that allegedly united us, is also the thing that's dividing the country. You know, they're taking everybody's money and under the guise of taxes. So when does this stop being, there until people figure out the game? It's just not. It's just going to continue. It's going to continue. It's going to continue anyway because of the illusions. The color purple is the reality, but the red and the blue is the illusion. The bipartisanship, the joke is on us. The color of politics, the color of your democracy is purple. Your politics are purple. Your politicians are purple. They are not red and blue. No, they're not. What makes their agendas go forward is purple. The most pivotal and some of the most significant things that they do, they've been the most globalist forward agendas have been forwarded by purple, the color purple. It wasn't forwarded by a red and a blue. It was forwarded by a color purple. It's being used on a global stage. Now, they're not hiding it. They're letting you know the joke is on you. KJP, Colleen Joan Pierre, she will always speak of bipartisanship because that's the color purple. Pete Buttigieg in this situation with in Baltimore, he said red, blue, purple. These people are not, I'm telling you, purple. So, keep going all you want. But, that's what the spectrum is lended itself. It is. That's the spectrum itself. Very basic, very fundamental. Red and blue make purple. And most of us, that's a primary school revelation. It's not an elite ivory tower school, or it's not an elite. It's not a corporate America concept. No, it's a primary school. In primary school, just through experimentation, you realize that those two colors make purple. They want to they've reimagined your borders now in Ellis Island, where there's nothing that goes on. Nothing. That's an insult to Ellis Island. If that's if that's all you have, better come. You know, but people don't care that. People love a good story. They love a good script, and that's how they know they have the people. They can reach a lot of people through acting, through they will reach a lot of people. So here again, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll come to you in studio so that you can see these testimonies, so that you can see the script, so you can see the theater. And this is gonna be a long, an excruciating season of theater, with the color of purple raining, still raining in the end. All right, guys, have a great start to your Thursday. Thank you so much, Anarchy Television. I'm not sure who Psych Tyson is, but thank you so much for coming in, sharing, and I really appreciate it. All right. Till next time.